Right, Roger here, Roger's Hot Rod Garage. So we got about the 8th or 9th of October, I'm not quite sure, 2022. This is what I've been doing here. In the last video you saw me actually repairing that door right here. The door actually shuts pretty good. Stoked about that. Got everything kind of like welded up on the bottom. Gonna weld little things like this up. I'm not gonna have an antenna out the side, so I'll weld this hole shut right here. But anyway, this is what I spent probably about 2 or 3 hours doing today. Check out the old bezel. This is the actual original one. It was actually working. Most of the gauges worked on it. Speedometer didn't work. I know that I got a broke cable on that one, but look, this is pretty cool stuff. So I saved all this also. That's the throttle, believe it or not. So I got it all polished up, greased up in here, so it actually works pretty good. It was stuck earlier. This is the choke. Got that all cleaned up. Keep all my little bolts and all my little tabs right here. Going to send these off to the chromer, which were never chromed to begin with. Going to delete these two right here. Don't need those. I'm actually going to put the speakers in there, have tweeters in here. But let me show you why I don't worry about re-chroming that bezel. Because, let me cut the lights on back here. And because eBay actually has the brand new bezel chromed up, and I'm sure they probably got a spare one here too. I think I got that in Moultrie, Georgia, or either Webster or Florida. Not quite sure. But look, that part right there cost 75 bucks. I wish they would make parts like that in the United States of America so I didn't have to go to China to get that stuff, but eBay sells basically anything, so there's pluses and cons and pros to that stuff. Look, the 59 Apache is actually looking pretty cool right now. Got the dashboard torn out of it right now. Basically all the instruments are out. This is the turquoise color right here. And I got my new bezels back here. I don't know if you can see that because it's kind of dark out here. I got the lights cut off right now, but that actually looks pretty good and starting to get a little enthusiastic about the truck again. The doors work great. There's the color right down here. Kind of like a turquoise spray can. This is the spray cans right here. These are about 10 bucks a pop. And they're good paint. So it's called the Petrol Satin Matte. Put that back here. I'm going to do the bed in this thing too. And then check this out. So what I'm doing right now is I took all of the gauges out of here, and some are just laying in the back. Pretty easy, about an hour and a half, 2 hour project today. But check this out. This is a delete for the ashtray, and somebody had drilled a big giant hole here and put the control for the heater on here, the vent or the fan. What I'm going to do here is I actually take this little blowtorch and I burn all the paint off of it, like right down here. And the reason I do that is I can take my wire brush here, and I got a nice welding surface. Anyway, you get the point. Same thing over here. The ashtray, don't smoke, never have, not cool anymore. So this right here, I cut the back of the ashtray off, and I'm going to take this and put it right in here and weld it in here. Then a slight swipe of Bondo, about 1/8 of an inch, and I'm going to have this completely flush on here except for where the dials and the gauges are right here. Don't know what to do with the middle, probably some kind of, I don't know, push button something. The radio, the retro sound radio is going to go right here. It's going to look original. Speaker is going to go right in here. We'll have the delete for the vent, the air vents. I took those out here. I want this thing to look super clean. And I think since the Nomad is sitting over here and I had such a good time doing the dashboard on that one, I'm going to do the exact same high gloss 2K dashboard in here. Now what's interesting here, there was little ripples in here. And the ripples were actually factory. When they just pressed this thing, they didn't worry about smoothing it out. So I'm going to smooth all this out. That piece of chrome that goes right here, it's actually not chrome, it's actually painted. It's sitting right over there, and I'm going to have my buddy actually chrome that for me. And then the pieces that go right here and on the doors, I'll chrome those too just to get a little accent to it. And again, the new bezel going here. This thing's basically staying bone stock. So anyway, I'm going to get out of here right now and shut up for a minute. And this will be video whatever number it is right now. We got about the 2022, and it's probably about the 8th or 9th of October 2022. So anyway, this is the first part of the second video. Take care, bye. The lower welder is running, and here's what I just knocked out here. Again, it's not too pretty right now, but I'll grind this off right now. I'll put a couple more stitches up in here. It's kind of hot right now. This was that accessory delete ashtray thing. So weld it up just a little bitty hole right here. This will get a swipe of Bondo on to make it completely smooth. And that was the ashtray over here. Same concept over here. Close that thing completely off. And this will be all nice smoother here. Don't plan on picking up smoking anytime soon, so that's why I went ahead and shut this one off. The retro style radio will go up in here. The knobs will go right here. It'll be nice and clean. I'm probably going to go with the same gloss black 2K paint. Tief Schwarz deep black is what the Germans call it. But anyway, that's the plan right now. So let me get upstairs because we got about 8:30. Going to spend a little time on the couch watching TV. So hey, I'm done for the evening here. The most important thing in here is to make sure that the piece you're putting in is like a 1/16 of an inch lower than the outside edge. That way that nice little smooth swipe of Bondo will actually be on here. You don't want to have to fight this curve right here. So this is the outside reference line right here. So this right here, I mean if it's perfectly flush that's fine, but it has to be just a little bit lower. And the same thing with this one over here. This is actually pretty easy work today. I only spent about 45 minutes on this. And again, I'll start sanding this entire dashboard right here. I'll put a little swipe of Bondo in here, and then I'll 2K epoxy filler clear it. Not clear it, but put the primer on. And then I'll sand that smooth. A lot of sanding in here because I can't use a block sander here because of these little nubs right here, these little stick outs. But anyway, it'll still turn out pretty good. Be a lot cleaner to have all this busy work in here. And then this right here, the entire glove compartment, I'll just sandblast that one and then clean it and paint it separately, okay? Well, actually paint it at the same time, but it won't be in here when I paint it. Anyway, it's going to look pretty cool. And here are those lines I'm talking about. You can actually see them. See right there? Those little waves right there? That's actually when they pressed this thing in the factory back in 1959. And I guess Mr. Quality Control wasn't around here. But anyway, solid steel dash, take care, and I'll see you tomorrow night or the next night. All right, this is the first layer of Bondo. Just cleaning it up with a random orbital sander here. That one's done. I'll put another swipe of Bondo on that in a minute, but this is just a process. You got to do it 2 or 3 evolutions here. Anyway. Alright, we're about a week later, Saturday morning again. And so my Bondo is set up. I mean, it sets up literally an hour after that if you mix it with the hardener correctly. But this is actually pretty smooth. I might do one more coat because I got a little bit of low spot right down here. But anyway, this will be done then. And I think, what have I got here? About 100 grit paper, just roughing everything up. But look, even back in 1959, quality control was not too good. So what you see, those high spots right there when I'm sanding it, is actually where it was put into the press, and they bent this giant piece of metal right here, and it just crinkled right here. And they just didn't worry about it back then because the paint was just painted over top of it, and you had these high and low spots. And I'm going to try to fix that by just a couple little light swipes of Bondo in here and to fill in the low areas and then meet the high areas. Kind of the same thing over here, except not as bad. See right there, you can see it. But not too bad. But anyway, I'm going to make this thing a high gloss black is what I'm looking for right now. And then just make this black in here and this black up in here, and then I'll put my headliner in, which by the way showed up yesterday. Those are my door panels as well. So that matches the bench seat that I've also got done. So anyway, that's where I'm at right now. That's a part of the dash painting. Obviously includes getting the instrument cluster checked up. So I just made sure the speedometer worked. It didn't work, so I've got to take this mechanism here and put it over here because this one is basically seized up. I can't get it loose anymore. So it ate up the actual speedometer cable, which is in most cases. And so actually I picked another one up at a flea market for like $5 the whole thing. So again, but check this out. Dirt dauber nest inside the instrument cluster on a 59 Apache pickup truck. That's pretty cool. Cool. Another eBay part here. Now I actually washed my hands so I don't touch this thing. Check this out, man. Pretty simple. That will go, sorry about that, plop right in there. Hopefully it fits. Now I got to do just a little bit. Oh no, actually it will go in here. That's just a little piece of plastic right up in there. Alright, and then got my other parts drying right now, and the guts are all ready to go. I had to put the different speedometer on the back of it because the other one was literally stuck. And that's it, so everything's good to go now. Alright, this thing turned out pretty doggone good, if I might say so myself. But look, I mean, eBay or Dan Chuck's or CCP, Classic Performance Parts, stuff is not that expensive, so get yourself a new piece of plastic in here. That's like $15, I think. A new piece of chrome really puts some bling bling on it. You can put the old one in if you're looking for the patina look, but the dashboard's going to be kind of nice in here. So check this out. I'm going to grab my little flashlight here, and what I do before I actually go in here, I check all my turn signals so everything's aligned up in here correctly. Same thing on the other side. Turn signals aligned correctly. The light for the high beam is right there. It lights up nice and neat. And then you can also check up in here, since I got a new plastic in here, you got that little green shimmer up in there, which is kind of cool backspacing. The only other thing I do is, I already know this works right here because I just tried it like 5 seconds ago, but I hook up my drill up in here, and I got to get myself a new cable, and then just make sure it works, and it does. I knew it was going to work. 30, 40, 50 miles an hour, so it actually works pretty decent. So I got to get myself a new cable because this one was all twisted up, so I cut it to try to run this thing over here, but this is actually busted off in here. What happens, these things get dry up in here, and they won't spin, or they'll spin hard, and it just causes a whole lot of stress on here. That's when these things just basically fold up on themselves. But that looks like the original one that was in here, so I'm going to get a new one when I'm in the States from, I don't know, Pep Boys or Rock Auto, wherever I'm going to get it from. Alright, that's going to be the color of the door right here. I'm going to go ahead and close out this video now because I'm getting ready to head to the States in about 4 days for a little road trip from Dallas to Tampa, Florida. Stop at Moultrie Swap Meet, and also stop at the, what's that thing called? The Daytona Beach Turkey Run Car Show, which I've been to like 10 times. But anyway, I'm going to put this up. I just added some antifreeze to it so it doesn't crack the block when it's going to get really, really cold over here in Germany. I'm getting ready to drive it up into the other place I have where I store my vehicles that aren't projects right now. So this one, I got everything kind of hot wired right here. Make sure I don't touch any metal. And this right here is just my ignition switch, but old girl drives good, idles good. Close this door and put this thing in reverse. Let off the emergency brake, which now works, by the way, and head on out of here. Yeah, this other place is only literally, if I can walk there in about 30 seconds, and I can drive there in about 1 minute. So I'm just going to take this thing and put it up for the winter until I get back about the middle of December. Then I'll go ahead and paint the dashboard and kind of like fix it up and get ready to go to the inspection station. But the thing cranks up and runs great.